Good morning, folks. It is Friday, and I'm your host, Tim Spence, aka Trust the Troublemaker. Nice to see you all again. I want to get right into our topic this morning. First, I'd like to introduce our guest, Bear Stachio. You might have met him before in my first Beer with Bears video. I was up early this morning and he was like, "Take me with you." And I looked at him and I couldn't resist that little mustache, guys. What am I gonna do? But yeah, so this morning we're going to talk about the trouble with the truth. Now, I think most of us are raised that, honesty is the best policy. The truth shall set you free. Honesty is a great thing. You tell one lie, you gotta tell another lie, and this, all that. But I think what has happened in today's society is that the game has changed. Dealing with people as a whole has changed, making honesty somewhat dated in a sense. To give you an example, social media has altered how we as a species perceive reality. It's like you could have went out and conquered the world twice, but if it didn't happen on Instagram, it's not real. Like you might as well. I've been telling people you found a blue elephant. It's not, nobody cares. It's all visual. Everything is visual. They have to see you doing it. There's no more word of mouth. There's no more like, hey, come on down to this spot and I'll, show you the best lobster tails you ever had. It's like, how do I know? How you prove it, And that's because there was once upon a time where your word was all that you had. And I think what's happened with a lot of people these days is, one, we don't have time to take your word for it. Everything costs money. You got to work, you got to do this. You just don't have time to believe someone, I guess. That's crazy. But it is what it is. I mean, we've gotten to this point because we wanted things to be this way. Whether we acknowledge it or not, we did. We wanted everything fast and right in front of us. We wanted to be able to be somewhere and not even really be there. You want to, you got people taking a vacation in the Poconos all from the comfort of their couch. That's that in itself. You're lying to yourself because you're not really there. You're not feeling what it feels like to be there. You're just, I don't know what you're doing, to be honest with you. That's kind of sad and depressing almost. But for me, even trying to tell someone something personal about myself, I had made a few preview videos on Instagram and Snapchat about recently dealing with someone where I told them about what I was looking for, what I wanted, what type of issues I was dealing with, and they didn't take me seriously. As if I would make up these things there's a lot of ways that you can get out of a situation other than lying. You can not talk to a person. Okay, they keep calling you, ignore them. Like, that's it. Like, I mean, they show up to your house uninvited, you call the police. Like, it's that simple. But I think that stems from that individual having been lied to so many times. So, due to past experiences with people dealing with liars, that makes the truth so hard to accept. Is that, they've heard every type of lie you can imagine. Just people. And that's the thing, if you're going to lie, make it count. Make it like something like a life or death situation or something like that. Like, don't just, you lie about, oh, did you use some of my toothpaste? Ah, nah, man. I mean, it's toothpaste. Like, come on. Like, don't just, like, what? Like, what are you doing? Because now the pressure is on all the honest individuals to somehow create a PowerPoint presentation on how it is, how serious they are about what they're telling somebody. And that's not fair. That's not right, but that's where we are as a society. And then you have the individuals who just make a living off of portraying themselves as something that they're really not. Let me tell you something, folks. Nobody in the history of everdom is doing something all the time. It's not you're not popping bottles 24/7. And if you are, something's wrong with you. Because 1, you need to sleep. 2, you're crazy. 3, like, how do you afford that? Because real wealthy people who got like actual long money, as they say, like they're not going to do all that because 1, they're drawing too much attention to themselves, and 2, anything's liable to happen in that situation. Okay, you might travel. I'll give you this. You might travel twice a month, but you're not somewhere all the time. I mean, folks, people got green screens out here. People out here making it look like they're somewhere, and they're really not. So unless you've actually talked to that person and asked them, I say, switch it on them. Switch it on them. They say Instagram didn't happen. I say, well, how was it? Like, what was the weather like? Like, what was the culture like? What type of food did you eat? Was it warm? Like, how did it compare to here? Because I've been thinking about taking a trip myself, and I saw what you were doing, but I want to know your personal opinion on what went down. How about you tell me that? And see what they say. They'll be like, oh, well, it was hot, and it was hot, and I did some stuff. And it's like, So what you ask me all these questions for, man? I'm doing it big. Don't worry about me. I was like, okay. But those individuals kind of worry me a little bit because it's like, how do you keep that up? You got people, they flashing money and stuff like that, and they got all these people that are out in the club and VIP sections, riding in Corvettes and stuff like that. And it's like, these will be the same folks who won't have 2 pennies to rub together when their rent is due. But like they're sick with it. They're savages with it. They say, nah, I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be me. Like everybody's gonna know I be out here making moves, man. And I'm like, okay, that's what's up. I mean, you can do that all day, but I've seen people almost kill themselves try to like convince everybody else of the lie that they told themselves, because they felt like if they told people who they really were, then people probably wouldn't give them the time of day. I'll never forget a girl said to me, you know, when I was out in my nightlife, she was like, you know, we should all get together and hang out in the daytime sometimes. And I told her, like, I mean, that sounds really nice, but I think if we all met during the daytime, we probably wouldn't like each other as much. Because here in this situation, we're all pretending. Because I know I wasn't even in my right state of mind for most of those experiences. So the person that they met wasn't really me. You know, it wasn't all of me. It was who I wanted to be in that situation, just like they were showing me who they wanted to be in that situation. And that's fine. You know, we had that in common. But the people who do that all the time, you're trying to convince everybody of this. I don't know how you keep it up. Let me know. Let me understand. I don't know how you convince yourself. Because when I lie, like my head hurts. Like I feel like especially when I was dealing with the dating app thing, like having to be something I'm not. I lose all interest in who you are as a person. I just, because you want me to not be me, and I don't rock with that. And I can tell you, like, if I went down that route, it wouldn't be pretty. Like, you know, I find some female I like, and, you know, the way I carry myself isn't really her stilo. So what I do, I got a bunch of tattoos. I get face tattoos. I dye my hair green, get dreads and everything. I wear like cutoff jeans, like a Gucci shirt, and I get like a Balenciaga purse. And I just go like, shawty, what it is. Like, you know, like I go up to her and I present myself like, oh, you know, baby, I'm out here making moves, baby. Like, what's up? And she's like, now, mind you, we've been dealing with, she gave me the time of day. And so now I'm deep. I've buried myself halfway in. And so she's like, you know, I did some research on you. And I realized you didn't dress like that up until recently. Like, you didn't look like that a few months ago. And it's like, what you saying? What you saying, girl? Like, this is me. This is me. This is who I am. This is what I look like. Like, this is me. And she's like, no, I heard about people who went to high school with you. Like, what? Huh? Like, what? No, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. I was mad in high school. I was mad. And slowly, my operating system is letting me know, warning, you're reaching your capacity. Do not proceed any further, or a system error will be imminent. And I'm like, nah. You know what I mean. She's like, no, I don't know what you mean. I don't really think you were all that cool. And it's like, nah, I was the coolest. Me, I was the coolest. And now, I didn't stop. So, warning, system error. And now I'm about to haywire. And she's like, no, I just think you should be yourself. And I'm like, she's like, what is going on? Like, I can't, did the cab counting? Did the cab count? No, friends, alone. And she's like, whoa, 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 like sparks are flying out of my head. She's like, I don't know, She's like, what? Calm down, calm down. I'm like, I shouted, no. And I just shut down. I shut down. And she's like looking at me, and I'm like, I'm just frozen. I'm frozen, like your computer just crashed. And she like pokes me like this, and I'm Shaquita, I am a robot sent from the future to find out how human beings find love in 2020. I thought that by portraying myself this way, that somehow I could convince you to like me. But it appears that all I did was make myself look like a clown. I'm sorry. She's like, it's okay. Like, just don't do whatever you just did again. Like, that was terrifying. But yeah, like that would be me. Like, and eventually those people who do all that, they're gonna hit their breaking point. They're gonna lose it. Like, they just can't, like, they can't keep it up. Like, it's when it costs too much, you're dying on the inside, because at what point in time are you anymore when you're like that? And I get it, because people have put up these walls that, you gotta be something in order for them to even talk to you. I'm like, who is everybody else that I need to be this guy, or you need to be that woman in order for you to accept me? When did that, who are you? Who are you? I tell my buddy all the time, I'm like, my father used to tell me this. He said, son, you got to consider the source. Some of us really have to sit down and think about the people that we're dealing with on a daily basis and ask ourselves, is this even worth it? Because if they ain't making you no money, and they're not putting you in a better position to make money or be a better person, or they're not helping you like figure stuff out or feel better about yourself, what are you around them for? What are you around them for? Why? Because they might have something you got. What is it, drugs or something? Like, what are you around these people for if they're not doing anything for you? Even if, like, okay, you feel sorry for this person. I mean, they got to feel sorry for themselves before you can feel sorry for them, because can't nobody help nobody that isn't trying to help themselves. You can't do it, because as long as they don't love them, no matter how much love you got, if they don't love themselves, you're wasting your time. So that's you not being honest with yourself. That's it. That's all it is. And I just think it's not fair that we have all this much pressure just to fit in and try to be this. Where it gets to the point where you can't even tell somebody something that you did, and they don't even acknowledge it, because some social media nonsense didn't portray it out to be this magnificent presentation that convinces them like, oh, you got something going on. That's lame. That's lame, if you ask me. And I know all about the word. I want us to challenge ourselves to be more open-minded when it comes to what it is we hear coming out of someone's mouth. Because the thing is, even if they lie to you, they have to keep that lie up. You know, I'm not the type of person, I'm not going to call you out. Because it doesn't make no, I mean, it's entertaining to me to get lied to. I'm very entertained by it. Because it allows me to see, because I always find out the truth eventually. You know, the truth follows me like a girl I stood up on prom night. So, I mean, I just have a nasty habit of finding it out. But the whole reason I even came on here this morning to talk about this is like going into my 30s, I've had a lot of issues with being honest. Well, not being honest. I think I've always been honest about things. But I've had situations prior to going into my 30s where I guess I didn't say anything. Because not saying something is also part of not being honest. You know, like that's just because you don't do something. If you know that your actions by not doing something can have an impact, like you're still responsible for them. And, you know, I know that I'm not where I need to be mentally. I know that I'm not where I need to be emotionally. And so I have to be careful as to who I let come into my life. And I have to tell these individuals about myself because I don't want to hurt anybody. And it's not because I'm afraid. It's not because I am hesitant or I'm not like, you know, I'm just playing games or something like that. It's because in the past, I've had situations where I told them up front and I let it go on. Instead of taking myself out of the equation, I let it go on. And then the day came where it's like they realized I was telling the truth about everything I was saying. And it's like, oh, and that feeling, that's like, I mean, good luck finding anyone I was dealing with because they don't want to talk to me anymore. Because of my lack of enforcing the truth. Because it's one thing to tell somebody the truth, but you have to be the one to convince them of it. And decide what truth you're going to convince them of, because it's something you know you did and they want to go back and forth with you about your actions. No, that's not worth it. But I'm saying, like, if it's a financial investment, if it's a personal investment, if it's something that you know you can't handle, you're not ready for, and you told this person this, make sure they know, or take yourself out of the equation entirely, because you don't want to disappoint someone because they allowed themselves to be disappointed. It's complicated. But honesty is important, everybody. It's, I know it seems like you can't say or do anything truthfully. I get that feeling, but you have to still strive for that, because we don't want to live in a world where we're all lying to each other just to get by. That's not what we want. It's going to be a very toxic, soulless world that we live in if that becomes the case. And the reason it's so important to me, because it takes away from the ability to be who you want to be. And if you find yourself constantly having to lie to entertain the people that are around you, you probably need to be around better people. You probably need to surround yourself or just take time to yourself. Take time to figure out who you are as a person. You know, not convince yourself. Just feel like, sit down and ask yourself, what do I like? What do I not like? Find out who you are so you can go back out and Be around people who are willing to accept that, who are willing to give you that back, because reciprocity is the only way a true relationship bond can be created. And what? What? What are you looking at me like that for? What am I telling jokes? Huh? Oh, I got one for you. Knock, knock. Who's there? Nobody. Get out of here, you bum. Teddy bears, man. Teddy bears. Anyway, got me off my train of thought. Yes, but that's my take on the problem with honesty. I'm not saying that honesty is a bad thing by any means, but I'm saying I get that in this day and age, it is very hard to portray yourself how you want to be seen, because there are so many distractions. There are so many ways that people are not portraying themselves truthfully. And that's up to you to do your investigation. See what's really going on with the people that you're dealing with, the people you think are so cool. Really look into that, and I bet you'll be surprised. Once again, that's all for me, folks. Please subscribe if you like this video. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell, and be looking forward to videos in the future. I'm Tim Spence, Trusted Troublemaker. My IG is Trusted Troublemaker. My Snapchat is Trust for Trouble, where there's all types of wacky, random stuff going on. I hope everybody has a good weekend. I might do some stuff. Think about it. Depends on how I feel. And I love you. And I wish you all the best. And be truthful with yourselves, folks. Be honest with yourselves. That's where it really starts. You know, you lie to yourself, you'll lie. You lie to yourself, you're gonna lie about anything. I promise. And you don't want to be a joke. It's not. But yeah, you guys have a good day. Might check out my videos later, maybe, perhaps. We'll see. And as always, trust me to trouble you. What'd you say? What'd you say? All you do is walk around here naked with an apron on that says #1 chef, and I do all the cooking. Sorry.